technology has made it possible for any home cook to make chef-level meals with almost no training required. I'm Erin from TechGadgetsCanada.com and Tech Gadgets International, and when it comes to barbecuing, there's a whole world of grill masters and experts out there, plus a competition circuit to boot. For those of us who just want to cook better over fire at home for our families, you'll want to know there's a bunch of new technology and devices out there that can actually make grilling more precise and mean you don't need to sweat it out standing next to the heat either. One of those devices is a smart barbecue. The Weber Genesis Smart Grill Model 335 is one of those new high-tech options. Weber sent me one of the grills for a few weeks of testing and trial, but didn't tell me anything about what I have to say or what I can't say about this barbecue. In this review, I'll look at what this grill is capable of and what it's not, as well as how well it cooks, how easy it is to use, and if I can recommend it for you. An early heads up, if you end up liking this video and finding it helpful, to please hit that like button and consider becoming a subscriber. Both those things do help me keep making more videos that I hope everyone out there can watch, enjoy, and learn from. Before you get to any of the fun stuff, you've got to move this grill and then unpack it and get it built. The box weighs a couple hundred pounds, and I found the easiest thing to do was to unpack the individual boxes inside and move them to the backyard for assembly. There are a ton of parts and pieces to this barbecue, like most others. The instructions are pretty clear, but even with two of us working on it, it took about 2 hours to build, so make sure to allow some time. With this baby built, it's time to get a look at some of the cool features, and then we'll get to the tech. This particular model comes with a wheeled cart and a good amount of storage underneath. In addition to the under barbecue cupboard with double doors, there's an optional side compartment too for grills, sheet pans, and tall, narrower accessories like the Weber Crafted line, and we'll get to more on that in a second. Integrated hooks in the side give you a place to hang tools. On one side, there's a countertop prep area, and on the other, there's a single burner for cooking with pots and pans. Under the grill is a very smart drip tray, and Weber's included a foil liner with it to kick things off. The tray catches all the drippings from the barbecue, so there's no mess. The size is generous and should last you through several cooks at the very least. The barbecue overall is heavy, solid, and feels well made, with a lid that's anything but flimsy. The grates are heavy and solid too. It's here I'll point out Weber includes a special grate to integrate Weber crafted cookware on the grill if you want to purchase additional cookware. You just swap the regular grill grates out for this steel crafted one, which can then accommodate different cookware, things like a pizza stone, a grill basket, a griddle, a wok, and more. Since I didn't have any of these extras, I will just stick with the basics. Under the lid towards the back is an ambient temperature sensor, which will display the temperature on the digital readout module and on the Weber app. Let's stop here for a minute and go a bit deeper, because this module is the nerve center for your barbecue and it's key to all of the smarts. The display does need power, and it can be powered either using the included AC power connection, or if you don't have power where your barbecue lives, as I did not, you can conveniently hook up a power bank through the USB-C connection, which is underneath.
Okay, you ready?
I will say it's pretty awkward to get a cable plugged in here, but I think this under-the-counter design is mainly to keep it protected from the weather if you do have a power bank stashed out there. Smartly, Weber did design a small shelf here that perfectly fits a power bank. With the module powered up, you'll see a few things on the screen. There's that ambient or inside the hood temperature, and it'll also show your food temperature and display a countdown timer as well, and we'll get into that in a second. There's also a way to set an audible timer alert here on the barbecue if you want. There are 2 holes in the front of the module where you'll be inserting your cooking probes. The barbecue comes with 1 wired cooking probe, or what we'd call an internal meat thermometer, but you can buy an extra one if you like. The probe end goes into the meat, of course, while the other end connects to your barbecue module. These are, by the way, the same probes that work with the Weber iGrill 3 portable barbecue smart module. And like I said, the Genesis barbecue here can handle 2 probes for cooking 2 different meats at the same time, each to its optimal temperature. But to truly make the most of your grill, you do need the Weber Connect app. Now, some folks have asked if you really need that app and if you can use the barbecue without it. But as I always say, if you're paying for all this technology, you might as well use it or opt for a lower tech and probably significantly cheaper grill. The app will allow you to view the ambient temperature of the barbecue, which is great for seeing when it's preheated. You can monitor a specific temperature when you want to maintain a low and slow temp for longer barbecue or smoker sessions. You can check the status of your food and the internal temperature of your meat, or try using Weber's recipes or preset cooking programs divvied up by different types of food. So now that you've had a tour, let's get cooking. I'm going to tell you there is definitely a bit of a learning curve with this barbecue and with the technology on it. I'd say it took me about 4 or 5 meals to really and truly get the hang of things. I started by cooking a piece of salmon and opted to use Weber's guided program for this, choosing medium well as the outcome. The cook was quick, and when I sliced into my food, it was definitely cooked well. I much prefer my salmon medium or even rare, but in the Weber Connect app with the recipe program that I chose, that wasn't an option. I vowed to take another look at the options for fish in the future. Next up, it was a steak, medium rare. I placed the probe into the beef and put it on the grill. The app sent a push notification when it was time to flip it over, which was actually pretty handy. When the app told us it was time to take the meat off and let it rest, we did, but when we cut into it, it was definitely more rare than medium rare, in my opinion.
Not quite the medium rare we were going for. That's a bit more on the rare side of things.
That's very rare.
Let me walk you through how to get connected and get your food cooked here, following along with the chicken that we cooked the other night. First, turn on the grill and heat it up. While you're out there, connect your power bank or power cord and turn on the smart module. Next, grab the Weber Connect app and decide what cooking program to use. The app will walk you through how to prep your food, give you an idea of how it might need to be cooked over direct or indirect heat, for example. You'll step through the app screens, and then when it's time, slide in the probe and take your meat out to the grill and then connect the probe to the module. When you're ready to close the lid, hit start on your cook. The thermometer probe, combined with the parameters of the recipe plus the inside temperature of the grill, all factor into your cook time, which it will show you right on the app.
And doesn't count down.
Which is weird.
Yeah.
The countdown timer is also displayed on the digital readout on the barbecue module, but it rounds everything to minutes and it's a bit less precise. The Weber Genesis said my whole chicken would be done in about 50 minutes, and I was kind of skeptical that would be enough time, but I thought I'd see it through and see what happens. Now is a good time to talk about the alerts, and for the most part, the alerts you get during a cook aren't loud or even audible. They're push notifications to your phone, and sometimes they're not immediate. Over the course of a few cooks, I experimented with how to get the app to play a loud tone or to ring when it was time for something to come off the grill, but I wasn't able to find anything that was effective. I found that it was necessary to keep my phone in front of me and to essentially watch for pop-ups. If I got distracted, which happens all the time, and I missed them, then I risked overcooking my food. In this case, with the chicken, I was waiting for the alert and watching closely, and when it came, I went outside to check, using another thermometer to probe doneness in a few places on the chicken. It didn't seem to me like the bird was fully cooked, at least not in the places where the Weber probe wasn't seated. We took it inside and cracked it open, testing for doneness again with another thermometer. It did show that at least half the bird was probably a touch underdone, so we put that half back on the grill for a few minutes to finish it off. It's here I'm going to talk about what I think is an important point with this grill, and that's that just because it has smart technology, don't think that means you're completely hands-off. While the smart module and the probe will give you a reading to where the probe is seated in your meat, you still need to check for doneness elsewhere, same as you would when you're cooking any other food at home. And I will also point out that the probe isn't really suited for being pulled out and pushed back in again to check various areas because it's quite hot after staying inside the grill for an hour. A wireless instant read thermometer like this one is still going to be your friend. Also, while the app will tell you when it thinks your food is ready, you've still got to be paying attention too, lest you missed your notifications. You could say your barbecue will get you about 90% of the way to grilling success with its design and its smarts, but you still need to be present and double check to ensure the food is cooked to the proper temperature everywhere. Take it from me, it's going to take you a handful of recipes to get a feel, not just for the tech, but for how this particular grill cooks. Try not to judge it or get get too frustrated early on. The Weber Connect app, while it seems robust, could use a few tweaks to make it a bit easier to navigate, and it definitely takes a few recipes to figure out exactly how to use the interface. I accidentally abandoned a couple of recipes and needed to start them over before I figured out exactly how to properly view the recipe instructions, then begin the cook. By the time we cooked our fourth meal, a whole pork tenderloin, I was feeling much more confident in both the grill and the tech. With the pork prepped and the probe in, it was on to the grill. A few minutes later, the push notification to turn the meat came in. And again, this is not a ring or an audible alarm, even though I had turned my sound on. It's instructions displayed on the screen or via that push notification. Now, the pork was flipped and then finished, rested, and then we sliced into a perfectly medium pork tenderloin that was moist and delicious. So no doubt some of you by now are thinking, come on, do I really need a smart grill? After all, there's other ways to get grilling smarts without having to pay for a pricey grill. Now that is true, and I'll say this. If you're shopping for a higher-end Weber grill, it's about a few $100s more to add in the smart technology and the smart module. You could, of course, just pay the $120 or so for the add-on freestanding Weber iGrill 3 gadget too, but it is nice to have this technology integrated into the grill. It makes it look clean and tidy. But short of that, there's not too many more advantages to this technology being built in. After enjoying my Weber Genesis for several weeks, I was most impressed by the grill's design, its engineering, its heating ability, and its durability, and it cooked food evenly. It looks great in my backyard as well, far nicer than the cheap propane-powered grill I had for many years before this one. That it comes with smart technology is kind of a bonus as far as I'm concerned. It's the cherry on top of an already delicious sundae. Even so, these higher-end Weber Genesis models are pricey. The one I tested rings in at about $1,479 with that smart module, extra storage, and the special adaptive grill for the Weber crafted line of barbecue cookware. And since you can spend as little as a couple $100 on a perfectly fine barbecue, there is definitely a lot of factors to weigh. The Genesis, by the way, without the smart module and those extras is closer to $999 by comparison. Overall, there is so much to love about this grill. While the assembly wasn't what I'd call fun, it is doable for anyone with basic tool smarts, and of course, lots of stores will also assemble these for you if you want to pay extra for that. I love the design of this grill and all the storage that comes with it, something I definitely did not have with my old grill. The Weber Genesis overall seems durable and well made, and the grill grates don't feel cheap either. I like the option of plugging in the smart module to AC power or using the power bank. The Weber Connect app also seems like it has lots of recipes and options for almost any cut of meat, plus vegetables and even fruit too. When it comes to the downsides, for me, the app alerts are not audible and not immediate to my phone. You really have to be paying attention when you're cooking with this grill as you would if you were cooking without technology. I also didn't like that some recipes don't let you choose your level of doneness. There's also definitely a learning curve, and I'd say it took me about 4 or 5 meals before I really started feeling confident and comfortable cooking on this grill. But now that I am really happy with it. Overall, I can definitely recommend the Weber Genesis Smart Grill for you. If you want to read this review or reference any of what I've talked about here, head over to techgadgetscanada.com for a full write-up. There you can ask me any questions you have about this grill. You can also post them here in comments below. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Erin. Until the next time, you can find me on either Twitter or Instagram. I'm at Erin LYYC. You can also always catch me on Facebook at facebook.com/techgadgetscanada.